Well, it's time to talk about the NFL draft. We bring in Ohio State defensive back Kurt Coleman. Kurt is joining us through our good friends at ONN and WBNS TV in Columbus. Kurt, I just want to ask you, what's it like to be a guy who's on the verge of going to the next level?
It's a tremendous opportunity. I'm definitely fortunate enough to be in this position, and I thank the Lord. You know, He's been able to keep me healthy throughout this whole process. For a while, I didn't think I was going to make it for the pro day, but luckily I was able to run and show the scouts what I could do.
How did the pro day go for you?
You know, I had a dream the night before, and I exceeded my dream. I don't know how I did, but I managed to. I ran, you know, a faster 40 than what I really thought I was going to run, and you know, the drill-wise and everything else kind of came together, and I had an outstanding pro day.
Can you talk about the difference between a pro day and then working out at the NFL Combine, and maybe being at home, a little home cooking helps a little?
No, most definitely. I mean, when you go through the Combine, it's 4 days of mental labor, physical labor, you know, all those physicals you had to do. And then the last day there, you have to perform to your best, which is tough to do. And then leading up for the pro day, you know, you get to sleep in your own bed every night, and you get to wake up, have your own breakfast. It's definitely a lot more relaxing, and especially when you're out in your home indoor field. You know, you're very calm, especially with your friends and family around. It makes it a lot easier transition, and I think that's why people perform a lot better there.
What advice did former Buckeyes or guys that you know in the pros give you when it comes to pro day and combine?
Really, it's just be yourself, act natural, don't try to do too much. And I think, you know, being able to grow up at Ohio State, I think the coaches taught me a lot about the game of football and about life. And, you know, that's what the coaches want to see. They want to see how you react in certain different types of situations and what kind of person you are on and off the field.
Kurt, I'm sure at the Combine you could notice a difference between Ohio State guys that played at Big Ten schools, and perhaps guys that played at other places. And I'm curious, just as far as Ohio State's program is concerned, how much did Ohio State prepare you for the Combine?
Tremendously. You know, the coaches, Coach Tressel, and my position coach, Coach Haynes, they did a great job of teaching me the game of football, and that's what the NFL is about. You know, you may have a couple fast people that are just, you know, blazing speed, but really what makes the difference is, you know, how smart are you to get from point A to point B, how efficient are you? And I think our coaches do a great job of preparing us for that kind of situation.
Is there any way you can compare, you know, the transition from high school to college and having letters and phone calls and all the things that a D1 recruit goes through to this process? And does this feel like a lot more like business than it did going to college?
It is a little more business than it was picking my school. I think I had a lot more opportunities to kind of pick and please, you know, who I wanted to go to. But you know, it's still a similar process where you're trying to wow the coaches. The coaches are trying to, you know, get to know you, and of course they want you a part of their program, but you have to do something special for them. And ultimately, you know, instead of college, the coaches got to choose me. I don't get to choose them.
All right, let's talk about what position you think you might play in the pros. Are you going to stay maybe strong safety? Do you think cornerback might be in your future? Do you think you're going to have to move around a little bit to jump to that next level?
I think I held myself a lot during this pro day, especially with my 40 time I ran in the 4.4s. And then along with my DB drills, you know, the coaches gave me the feedback that I could play corner, I could play safety. And I think one of the best things about that is I want to be that versatile guy that can come down and play that nickel position, you know, on the slot wide receivers or drop back and play safety. The most feedback I'm getting right now is that they want me to play the nickel position and, you know, cover the slot guys and be able to be a run stopper, which is right down my alley.
I know it's not a stat on the field, but how much do you think it means when Coach Tressel says to an NFL guy, hey, Kurt was a great leader for me at Ohio State? What does that mean to have that on your resume and to have, you know, a coach like that say that about you?
I think it means so much, especially when you're trying to build a team and a competitive team, you know, in the league or wherever you're trying to do. You need to have leaders that can, you know, take control of whether you're at practices, OTAs, whatever you're doing. You need to have those type of leaders that can not only, you know, be vocal, but you have to be able to show leadership and be the guys that are stepping out there and leading in all the drills. And I think coming from Coach Tressel, I think that's a lot of weight coming from him, because I think his word, you know, means a lot, and especially in the NFL world. So I think a leader is very important, especially when you want to establish a winning team.
Being a leader isn't something that you can, you know, you don't read about being a leader. It's just something that's natural. At what point at Ohio State did you say, you know what, I am all about Ohio State football, which I'm sure you probably did when you came in, but knowing that you are all about Ohio State football and you're a leader, and that really is something special?
Yeah, I mean, it was a growing process because when you come in and you're young, you want to be a leader, but you have to earn the respect. And that took 2 years for me to really earn everyone's respect, prove to them that I'm willing to, go the extra mile for people, and that I'm willing to go that extra drill or do whatever it needs to be that leader. And I think the same transition is, for the NFL. You can't just be that guy to come in and just be cocky and say that you run it. You have to be able to earn the respect of the guys, and then once they see that, you have gotten the respect, everything will follow suit. So it's really about establishing yourself, being respectful to others, and, showing them that you are the person that's going to lead this team.
I want to talk about your father, and this has probably something to do with your leadership ability. Your dad had a cancer scare, male breast cancer. We don't talk a lot about that. Your dad is one of the lucky ones. First, how's your dad doing?
He's doing very well. He's doing very well today.
And, what did you learn about, I don't think that men especially know a lot about male breast cancer. Can you educate us in some way about, how your dad found out and, how that impacted your life?
Really, it was my freshman year as we were preparing for the, the national championship game against Florida. And he had called me, that night after a practice, and he just said he had felt a lump and he got it checked out. And, it came back cancerous, and it was a stage 2, which is, there's 4 stages. And I was scared because I didn't know what to expect. And especially in males, not many males think, they can be susceptible to breast cancer. But, I think he's taken this. He held off chemo to watch me play in the national championship game, which I commend him for. And then, what he's been able to do is he's been able to reach so many people, giving them awareness about male breast cancer. He's going on the Susan G. Komen walk in Columbus in, I think, 2 months. He's doing a lot of things, raising a lot of money for the awareness. And I think the more males know about it, the more they can get checked and, the less deaths we will have from it.
How has that changed you as a man?
I don't know if it's been the circumstances I've been put in, but or the people I've been around, but whatever it is, I've been able to, go out there and, raise money for different types of awareness, such as male breast cancer or CMT disease or kidney cancer. All these rare diseases I think people need to be, hear about so they can get checked, and so there are less deaths in the families, because these things not many people know about, and the more we can put it out there in the newspapers, on the TVs, the better we'll be.
I appreciate you talking about that. Last question for you. Do you have a feeling for where you might go in the draft? I've read a couple mock drafts. You're here, you're there, you're everywhere. And in some ways, some of the things I'm reading is you might be the best steal in the draft, too, if you slip a little bit.
Hopefully I'm the #1 pick, but most likely, my agents tell me I'll be around the 2nd, 3rd round pick. I'm telling the teams whatever they get me at, it's going to be a steal, because I'm going to make the best out of the situation, and they're definitely going to get their money's worth.
All right, I hope you are the #1 pick as well. You've got the support of the entire Buckeye Nation all the way from Columbus down here in Cleveland. Best of luck in the draft.
Thank you very much.